Howdy YouTubers, JR's Life. So this one I want to do on a bit about my life. I've had some requests from people who view my videos. You know, it does say JR's Life, but I don't say a lot about my life. I just talk about my YouTube progress, RedBubble, Society 6, and now my Amazon.com progress. So I thought I'd give you a little take on what it's like to be me, as a lot of people don't know about me. So first of all, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, because we'll be doing a lot more, and I think I'm going to go in a few different directions. So this one is going to be more of a inspirational video for folks. And I think I'm going to name this one Living with Chronic Pain. It's something I do every day. So when I was 40, I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis in every joint in my body. So that's, a lot of pain in knuckles, knees, toes, just about every joint you can imagine. Also, at the same time, since I was having MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans, that nuclear stuff injected into me, things like that, and going to physiotherapy, and there was just a lot going on when I was turned 40. So when I turned 40, there was a diagnosis of osteoarthritis. I had the Arthritis Society pay me a home visit, and at that time they told me I'd be in a wheelchair within 5 years. That's now almost 14 years ago, and as you can see, I'm not in a wheelchair yet. I still go to work every day. I have a good job. I do a good job. I continue to do that because I'm not going into a wheelchair. There was a time when I do wear a knee brace from the osteoarthritis. I now have no cartilage in my left knee, and my right knee's not a lot better. Hips, things like that, they do hurt. The more walking I do, the more lifting I do, and the more pain I'm in. So I'll go to work for a day, and I'll pay for it for 3 days, but I'll continue to go. And so in the last couple years, I've not had a sick day or missed any time, except for my vacation days that I'm allowed. Just because if you sit around, it's not good for you. So one of my mottos is, if you don't move, you won't move. So you got to keep moving, which is what I've been doing. So, but at that time, so I was 40, diagnosed with osteoarthritis, told I would be in a wheelchair in 5 years. I fought through that, but at the same time, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is those myofascial points on your body that can be quite painful, and they interfere with you every day. Also at that time, I was going through physiotherapist saw I had a problem with my neck, which I did. Apparently I have 3 herniations in my neck, C4, 5, 6, I believe, C5 being the worst. I also have 2 herniations in my lower back, which don't bother me too often, although when they flare up, you have to crawl up the stairs. It can bring you to your knees. It can make a grown man cry. It's pretty painful stuff. I live through that every day. So it was osteoarthritis, it was fibromyalgia, it was a herniated disc, and no cartilage in the left knee. I also have patellofemoral syndrome, and my knee, I believe, which is runner's knee. I also have something else wrong with my knee that I can't pronounce or remember. I also have 3 things wrong with my feet, fallen arches, plantar fasciitis, I believe it's called, and something else that I can't pronounce or can't remember. I've also had 7 concussions, give or take, because you really can't remember after you've had a few. I've had 7 of those from car accidents and other accidents, and falling and bumping your head, and just life in general. So 7 of those. I live with concussion syndrome. symptoms every day. That's why I do wear sunglasses a lot, even at work, inside. You get a sensitivity to lights, you get headaches, migraines, all that good stuff. But I've learned to fight through all that, fight through all the pain. You get used to it after a while. So then 14 years, I have pretty high tolerance for pain. So, you know, it's pretty rough. So, yeah, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, 3 herniations in the neck, 2 in the back, 7 concussions. I've probably hurt every part of my body over the years, from working, from dirt biking, quadding, car accidents, you name it. But that's, I can still walk and talk, and there's so many other people out there worse off. So I know my problems are small compared to others who have had their whole life with severe issues. So I don't cry about it. It's just something you do, and I've been in the workforce a long time. I put my time in. It's something I can manage it. I don't take any drugs. I don't take any painkillers. I don't abuse alcohol. I don't do any of that stuff. I do certain exercises. I have a traction machine at home for my neck, which I have to stretch that every day. Or what happens is, in the neck, the herniations compress even more, put more pressure on a nerve. And for me, the pain shoots down my shoulders and then usually into my left shoulder, which the past 2 weeks has really been bad. It's aggravated when you stress the neck muscles, and then that will affect those herniations. And then for me, so today, I can lift my shoulder like that, I guess, but up front, or stretched out like this. Yeah, it's very painful. But then there's nothing wrong with the shoulder. And when this happened years ago, I thought I had torn my rotator, I'd done all this stuff. There's really nothing wrong with the shoulder. It all comes from the neck, from the herniation just pressing on the nerve. So that's one thing that's hard to figure out. But so there are days you wake up with pain anywhere, depending on what that herniation, what nerve it's pushing on. I tend to drop a lot of things too. In the last 2 weeks, I've dropped 5 items. You'll pick up a plate or a bowl or a cup, and you'll go to move, and that sucker just goes flying. You don't know why. It happens so fast. Like, what happened there? You just lost your grip or whatever, or it slipped. Well, no, it's that herniation's pushing on that nerve that controls your hands, and for a microsecond, whatever you want to call it, it just lets go, and it's over, and you just go, what? You can watch the things hit the ground and just go, what happened? It took me a while to understand that. It can also give you some slurred speech, which I find make you clumsy. Fall downstairs a couple times. You just don't know. You take a couple steps, next thing you know, you're on your ass going, what happened there? Did I miss a step? Did I whatever? Nah. It's just pressing on the nerve, and your legs didn't work for that microsecond, and down you went. And of course, I've got other injuries and cuts and bruises and, blood all over the place because of those instances. So it's much fun. It's something you got to live with every day. And if you know me, or if you knew me and you could see me, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with me. And that's a problem with a lot of these diseases or conditions you can't see because it's all internal. You can't see a herniated disc, so people think you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you, and you deal with a lot of that stuff. And I just write it off like you don't know what's going on. You can't see that. There's many different disabilities, and I am considered disabled, but you can't see it, so nobody knows. Nobody knows that today I can barely lift my arm, but still went to work and still did physical work. I do a lot of coordinating and, telling people what to do. I also have to get in there and do it. So it can be tricky, but you just keep on keeping on. It's kind of the way to to do it. So, I also have a skin condition. I don't really know what it is. Doctor said, it's rosacea, it's dermatitis, it's something. I get these red blotches on my face. Feels like your face is like hamburger. Some days it burns, it itches, you feel like tearing your skin off. Now, I have found recently, the last 3 weeks, I haven't really had a lot of that. I do have some a bit of red here and there, but last 3 weeks have been very good. I had a coworker tell me about a brand of soap that's naturally made. It's lavender soap. I've been using that for 3 weeks. That has worked very well. And of course, my lovely wife brought me some cream home that the pharmacist suggested, or actually I think it was the lady from the makeup counter. So Johnny's got makeup on. Not really, no, it's some sort of face cream that's really helped me. So the last 3 weeks my face hasn't been on fire. Hasn't been itching. I haven't felt like ripping it off, so that's kind of nice. So with all these conditions, it affects you every day. And you keep on keeping on. Like, I keep going to work, I go on vacations, I got a summer home at the lake. You go canoeing, you go boating, you go swimming, and you still do it because, if you just sit around, you will die. I'm not into that. I'm too young for that, and too young to retire when I'm 40. They said you'd be in a wheelchair when you're 45, or before that, you're basically done. I'm like, no, that can't happen. Because you sit around, you will die inside, and eventually you will die because you'll die of boredom. It's not me. I still ride a motorcycle. I have a street bike. I like to ride that. I don't ride it much because, it does hurt me to actually ride it, but I've been riding motorcycles for a long, long, long time. I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to go out on the four-wheelers anymore, the dirt bikes, or jet skis, or anything like that. Unless the water's like glass, then we'll go for a ride. But you can't do no tricks, can't do nothing crazy. You gotta modify your life. I'm sure there is a ton of people out there worse off than me. There's a ton of people that probably have the same sort of things I have. Hopefully, this will help you. It's another reason why I want to retire early. I want to create passive incomes on RedBubble, Society6, Amazon.com. And the end of this week, I think my web developer calls it a soft launch. I'm going to do a Shopify store, link that with Printful, and as many other things I can. I don't know if I can link it to RedBubble and Amazon.com, but I think so. So that's, kind of my reasoning behind all the RedBubble and Amazon.com stuff is that passive income as I get older. I'm not going to be able to do the physical stuff, might not be able to go to work every day. And I want to retire early anyway, which I can. Hopefully, in another year or so, maybe longer. Might have to go 5-6 years till I'm 60, which I really don't want to do. It's pretty brutal. It puts a lot on you that people don't understand. Just the pain every day, the minute you get up, all day to when you go to bed. It's pains with you when you're sleeping. You toss and turn 20, 30 times a night. You wake up, you don't sleep right. You don't get restorative sleep. And, it just plays on you for a long, long, long time. If anybody has any of these conditions, just keep on keeping on. Like I said, I don't take narcotics. I don't abuse alcohol. I can't take, the pain medication I'm supposed to take. I just can't. It doesn't make me feel very good. I take the odd aspirin, the odd Advil. I took one Advil today just to maybe loosen up my neck a bit. Take some pain out of that shoulder, which, it's not the shoulder that hurts, it's the neck, it's the nerve, but it takes the edge off it a little bit. So I did take one today at work just to get me through. Most people I saw today wouldn't have a clue that I was that hurting, and there will come a time Like as soon as I came home, I get in the traction machine, I stretch my neck out. It takes some of the pressure off the disc, which takes pressure off the nerve, which makes it a little better. But I had it years ago where I couldn't raise my arm, like this. You would have tears. It'd make a grown man cry. It's just that kind of pain. It's nerve pain, and nothing kills nerve pain. Been there. A couple things I did forget. I also have the ulnar nerve problem in my elbows, where you go like that and extend your elbow, and it's like your funny bone going off, but it ain't funny. That goes off 20, 30 times a day. That eventually causes numbness, tingling, causes you to drop things. That there's nerve damage in my neck too, which they said if that heals itself in 5 years, you're good to go. If it doesn't, it never will. Wow, that's a long time ago now. At 10, 12, 14 years, it's not going to heal itself. I've been for, like I said, the MRIs and stuff on my neck. One of the best, I guess, neurosurgeons in the world looked at my MRI results, and I was there, and just said, we can't operate on this. He said, you'll have to live with it. If we operated on, we nick a nerve, you don't feel your legs anymore, then you'll be in a wheelchair, or we nick a nerve, you don't see, you don't speak. I don't know. They just said the risk, it was too risky. Because of the way it's herniated into the spinal column. That is another thing. I have narrowing of the spine too, where it's closing off on my spinal cord. That's not good either, but we're going to live with it for as long as we can here. My doctor told me once, you have osteoarthritis. You got lucky. I said, yeah, why is that? She said, it's the only one that doesn't affect your organs. And it's like, wow, I didn't know arthritis could affect organs, but apparently every other type of arthritis can affect your organs. Yeah, I didn't know that. So I got lucky there, which is good. But you tell that to the joints when your fingers are like this and you can't move them, and they feel like rusty hinges, or feels like somebody's sticking a knife in them or something. So, and I've had all kinds of physio for this stuff. I've had steroid shots for the fibromyalgia and all those myofascial points. That does not feel good at all. That is horrendous. It's painful in itself. I've had shots in the knees, the silicone, the steroids. That needle, she's a big one that goes in your knee, and I tell you, that does not feel any good. I did not enjoy that. And after speaking with a naturopath, he told me, they're shooting you with all these steroids and silicone injections. Where do you think that stuff goes? Or where do they tell you it goes? Because it doesn't just stay in the joint. I said, well, they told me it would dissipate in the body and basically evaporate. And he said, no, that's not what happens. All that sort of thing ends up in your liver, and then you end up with a big old ball of like silicone in your liver. Next thing you know, you get liver disease, you gotta have a liver transplant, or you gotta have part of your liver cut out, all that good stuff. So I had about 30 shots of the steroids, and they start at the myofascial, I guess at the base of your neck, go all the way down to like your tailbone. And I can't remember how many spots there is, but there's a lot of these myofascial points in your body that they shoot this stuff into. And then I did go for 2 or 3 treatments on my knees, and I did not like that. It's almost, that big hollow needle they put in there is almost worse than the pain. With osteoarthritis, the bone spikes in the joints, they break down, they get brittle, and the little pieces break off, and it gets into the joint, and you'll take a step, and bam, a pain will shoot through you like a rocket, put you right to the ground. You'll limp around for a day or two until that chunk of bone passes out of the joint, I guess, or grinds down the dust. I'm not sure what happens. But that's not pretty. But I've gotten used to that too, and I'll get that bam of pain. Sometimes it'll put me to my knees. Other times I just keep on going because I get used to it, the shock of that instant pain. That pain, I would say, is like somebody shoving a knife in your knee, I guess, or hitting you with a hammer or something like that. It's a sharp, instant pain that, yeah, goes away after a while. I've had that. I've been hit hard with it a couple of times where you can limp for a week or a couple of days. Sometimes 5, 10 minutes it goes away. I'm not sure why, if it's a bigger chunk or it's stuck in the joint or what it is. That stuff isn't pretty. So you just have to deal with this stuff every day. It's stuff I deal with every day. And it's not fun, but you keep doing it. You do it for your family. I do it for my wife and kids, provide for them. Like I say, I do have a good job. I do have good benefits, I have good pay. Without that, what would I have? Canadian disability? I can't do that. I know people can and people have to, who are a lot worse off than I am, and I get that. And more power to you. I mean, I'm fighting to be in that wheelchair, but there are people in those chairs that, that's, you have to survive on the Canadian disability, which isn't enough. The government should be increasing all that stuff. People don't choose to be disabled. People don't choose to have chronic illness and disease, and they should be taken care of. So for me, I'm in a fight all the way. Like I said, I don't get any assistance. I don't get any tax refunds. I don't ask for anything, no special treatment. You want to move that fridge? Hey, we'll move that fridge. You want to move that couch? Move that couch. It's what you do. I do, home renovations and stuff, just like anybody else, although less and less because it hurts. But, I do that stuff. I still work on my own stuff. I work on trucks, motorcycles. I fix this, fix that. Always out there looking to make more money. And, and as younger, even after 40, I still did physical things to make extra money. And I'm trying to get away from that. And I've done a ton of things, from selling on eBay to selling on Kijiji, buying and selling on Kijiji. Buying, selling, fixing bikes. I think I did that for like 20 years. I would, pick up scrap bikes, fix them, sell them. Some I would donate to charity. I did that a lot. And now it's physical. Even though it doesn't seem like much, you're still wrenching on stuff every day after you've already worked all day. And it gets you, it plays on you, and it starts to hurt. After doing it for, like I said, I don't know, 20 years, 15, 20 years, whatever it was, I got out of that, which is hard to get out of because people keep pulling you, trying to pull you back in. But got away from that. And I think when I stopped that, that's when I went into selling sports cards and antiques and things on eBay. eBay is a bit of a problem. I'm in Canada. Most of your buyers are in U.S., not Canada, U.S. shipping. That stuff will kill you. It's terrible. It shouldn't be that way. It should almost be, it's North America, it's North America. Shipping is shipping. That's it. But because we got the border and we're a separate sovereign country, they put the screws to us huge. I don't blame the U.S. on that. I blame Canada on that. Canada Post, not doing us any favors. So, I basically stopped selling because of that. So, from going and selling or shipping 10, 15, 20, 30 things a week to zero, and you've lost money because of your policies, and your rates are unreal. And there are ways around it, and there's all kinds of things you can do, and there's different couriers and carriers and all this stuff. It just makes it too difficult, and for Canadian sellers, makes it pretty hard. Same with Amazon.com, going the other way. Everything's shipped from U.S. into Canada. If you live in the U.S. and you buy my T-shirt, you can get free shipping. In Canada, you pay $9.14, I think it is right now, to get that same T-shirt shipped just across the border. Even if you live a block over the border, and it's charging $9.14 just to go across. It's insane. So, and like I said, I've always bought and sold on Kijiji. There's always a way to make a buck on the side. So now I'm going those passive incomes just so I can rest my body. And for me, obviously, there is no cure for any of this stuff. The osteoarthritis, you're gonna have that forever. That I do all kinds of things to combat that, from ice packs to heat packs to dipping my fingers in hot wax and wearing gloves on them, and then I have another pair of gloves that you heat up in the microwave. You put those on, gives you some relief for a while, but it just comes back. And that's one thing, you can get some relief, it just comes back. I used to have a hot tub. I had that for about 10 years before it broke down, and it just wasn't worth fixing. That helps a lot, that hot tub, but same thing, get in the hot tub, feel good for a couple hours, and it just comes right back. So, they're just band-aids. I don't think there's anything else you can do. I'm not going to take, prescription drugs, narcotics, just to mask the pain as well. That causes you a world of other problems. You end up getting divorced, losing your family, losing your job, probably in jail because those narcotics stop working or they stop giving them to you, and then you end up on fentanyl or carfentanil or something stupid like that, and your whole world changes. I'm not going to do that. It's the way it is. So, I've gone on for a long time, but this is part of my life, living with chronic pain. So everything I do is harder. Like I said, I know there's lots of other people with way worse problems than I can't even imagine. And it's pretty tough, but this is just my side of it. So every day, I go to work in pain, come home in pain, do all this side stuff in pain. It does play on you, because if you're in pain all the time, it just makes things so much harder, and then you're so tired, and then you're trying to do other things like make websites and design products and market products, and it's pretty tricky stuff, but I'm going to keep pushing on. And of course, in the description, I'm going to put links to my RedBubble and to my Amazon.com stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, check it out and support JR's Life. End of this week, I think I'm supposed to be doing a soft launch, as they call it, on my Shopify store. So start adding links for that. I do have sales on everything. Amazon.com, RedBubble, not Society 6 because I haven't pushed it, because no one knows it's there and you'll never sell anything. But I could use more. You want to help a guy out? JR's Life, RedBubble, or go to Amazon.com, search JR's Life. My t-shirts come up, my hoodies, they all come up. Help a guy out, and maybe I can retire earlier if I make my first million. I'll retire, and I'll do these videos from Mexico where it's warm. And that's another thing, like Canada weather. This cold weather up here is bad for the arthritis and the herniated discs and all that stuff. That's another reason I want to move south. Maybe get some relief when I go to Cuba or Dominican or Florida or wherever. That humid, hot, it really loosens the body up. Feel a lot better. So I'm hoping to be able to get some more of that as I get older. And I do still love Canada. It's an awesome place. I would go away for the coldest months and come back up here for the rest and spend my time up at the lake and here at home. I just need that time away, and humid, hot, just for a break, just kind of rejuvenate, and then come back. So I think I'll cut it there. This one I'm going to put under a playlist, I think inspirational. Hopefully, some people watch it and it helps them get through their life, or they're living with chronic pain. It isn't fun. A lot of pain, is not a lot of fun. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just keep pushing. Stay away from that narcotic stuff. That's not good. Try maybe some natural stuff, whatever that may be. There's all kinds of herbs and potions and rubs and butters and stuff you can try. I would try that before I tried pharmaceuticals. They're bad. I was on them early on for a couple of years. They just about ruined me. That's another reason why I don't take them. I don't want them. They're terrible. They cause you all kinds of problems. You have to get blood tested in case you're toxic from too much of that chemical in your body. Hurts your liver, hurts your kidneys, hurts everything, you know. So you have joint pain and you take pills for it, and now your liver or your kidneys are shutting down, which are vital organs. So I can't go that route. You know, if you have to, you have to. If you're in such pain that it's the only way for you to survive, then yeah, so be it. I get it. It's just my choice. My choice is not to until I absolutely have to, which for me isn't going to come. You know, like I said, just keep on keeping on, and that's why I always say, be happy, be grateful, because it can be worse. It definitely can. You know, and some people have it a lot worse, so I feel for them. And, you know, hopefully this will show you just a little bit about my life and why I do what I do. And that, yeah, a lot of pain every day. Most people don't know because they can't see it. And I try not to, you know, let on. I'm the type of guy I don't like show pain. And they'll see me limping and be like, yeah, it's bothering me a little bit. And away I go. Or when people are around, I won't limp. And as soon as I get past people, then I'll limp. I don't like show pain. I guess that's the real man in me, which, you know, it's almost gone now because you can't be a real man anymore. But, you know, that's a different story. I'll have to do a YouTube on that someday. But for now, I gotta go. I gotta upload this. I'm going to go stretch my neck again because that really helps. And I would recommend anybody who has herniated discs in their neck to buy this machine. It's a little machine about 2 feet long. It's angled. It's got these 2 thumbs that go up in here. Pump it up. Stretches you out. You should like that for 10 minutes under certain pressure, 10, 20 minutes, whatever you can take. And it creates that space where that herniated disc can go back out a little bit, not touch the nerve. And something I have to do every day. I think there are days where I should be doing it. I should be living in that thing, you know, but I don't think you can do that. It's not good for you either. That machine's about $500, and I did buy that personally, and nobody paid me back for it because they didn't even understand what it was through the insurance company. I bit the bullet on that. It's like, whatever. It does work, so, you know, that's a good thing. That helps out a lot. So, like I said, I gotta go because I can go on and on and on. So see you YouTubers. Till we meet again. Be happy. Be grateful. See ya.